Hello everyone, welcome to the first Canva tutorial video here on my page, Creative Coaches. I'm really excited to get this going. I know there was some interest that from Twitter, people asking how to create these different things. My goal for this channel is just to give you tools to make whatever you want to make for your program. I think we are moving more and more to the digital age of high school sports and high school athletics, and really being able to promote your team online, make really nice looking online materials, whether that be slideshows, websites, documents, whatever it may be, graphics, anything. So I'm going to start with explaining Canva today. I'll get into some other stuff, but if you have any ideas, you have anything that you want to see in terms of how do I create this, feel free to let me know. Okay. So we're going to start in Canva today. The nice thing about Canva is that it is a free site. It is very easy and simple to use. In fact, this graphic I made today took me less than 10 minutes to make. Very, very, very similar to something like PowerPoint. If you're familiar with that, it's just some of the names are a little different. So with Canva, there are free accounts, and then there's also premium accounts. One thing that is nice is that if you do have a education email, you can get access to the free educational account, which allows you some premium features. So when you log in, you're at this home page here, and there's all kinds of different things here. But I'm going to be showing you how to make this game day design here. Now, one of the things that's nice with Canva is that they have pre-made templates already available to you. So if you're really like, I just can't start from a blank, I want to use a template, they have. So if you go sports, post, it'll pull up a list of templates that are already pre-made. So you could very easily take one of these, swap out your logos, change your colors, add in your pictures, and be done in minutes with your graphic. If you're just a little unsure about starting from a blank scratch, they're very, very, very easy to use, but it's the same basic skills. Again, some of them are free, some of them you have to pay for, depending on what your subscription or account is through Canva. I'm going to create a blank one so I can show you guys the basics of it. And then I'll go over in another video how to customize a template. But the nice thing again with Canva is that they have these sizes, these pre-made sizes already laid out for you. So if you want something specifically for your Instagram story, or for I'm sure there's one for a Twitter wallpaper, or some sort of newsletter, you can see those are all laid out right here. So you can select those sizes. You don't even have to worry about it. I'm going to use a custom size. And again, this pops up. I can type in inches, millimeters, centimeters, pixels, however I want to do it. I'm going to keep it at inches and just make it a standard 7x5, and then press create new design. And now I have this screen here, and this is my workspace. So this is the area that I'm working with. You can see over here on the left, we have different features that we can add in, whether it be pre-made templates. Valentine's Day is coming up, so we got all those here. Elements are going to be different textures, pictures, shapes, whatever it may be. This is where you'll find most of your nice content to add to your image. Uploads, you can upload your own photos. So you can see here I uploaded my pictures and logos already to this here, and those are ready to go. Text, I'm adding text into my image. There's some pre-made ones already, or you can add just a simple heading, subheading, etc. And then logos, you can actually upload your team's logos, and it'll save them there so that they're very easily accessible. So if you have your team, or maybe the teams in your conference or on your schedule that you're playing, and you want to save those logos in one spot, you can upload them here. And then there's some other stuff here too. You can add in different photo styles, audios, video, incorporate other apps or platforms as well. But most of what you're going to do is going to be found in these three right here. So I'm going to start. I went with my background image of Von Miller here. Being from Denver, I'm a big Von Miller fan, and I'm excited to see him in the Super Bowl. So I found this picture on Google. Again, I recommend if you're using it with your team, you just have some sort of team photographer who takes pictures at games. If you don't have access to that, just get some pictures of your guys, kind of posing. You see colleges have it all the time, and I'll go over some of that, but you can very easily get nice pictures from an iPhone. It has a pretty good camera. So I'm going to select Von Miller here, And all I need to do to get him onto my workspace here is just click on his picture, and you can see he gets uploaded there. And very similar to something like PowerPoint or Microsoft Word, you're going to have these points around the edge of the box that I can make it bigger or smaller just by simply clicking or dragging it. So I'm going to move him over to the right here so that he is in position for my image here, about right there. Looks good to me. And I'm going to edit this just a little bit just to make it looks like it's already a little edited, but I want it to just be a little bit more crisp. So I'm going to go edit image up here in the top left corner. You can see there's some different tools here I'll show you how to use, but I'm just going to do a very simple. I'm going to adjust the contrast a little bit just so it has some more detail. I'm going to bring up the clarity a bit, and then I'm going to increase highlights, increase shadows, just to give it just a little bit more action-ish look. And when I'm done, I just click off of it, and there's my edited picture. Now, I want to create a space over here. If I want to actually crop this image, I can. I can just press crop up there, and then again make it shorter, just like I would if I was doing something on PowerPoint, Microsoft Word. Again, very similar run program. So now I have this picture here. Colors are popping, and I have this blank white space over here. And one thing with the Rams that I like is they really have that bright yellow on blue on almost all their things. So I want a blue background here. So what I did is I went to Elements and I searched, I think it was patterned rectangle here. Oh, I spelled pattern wrong. And you're going to see that all these rectangles are going to come up, different backgrounds, different textures, and you can kind of scroll through and see which ones you want. But I'm really looking for that blue look. So what I can do here is I can go up to this filters bar right here, click on that, and I can actually set it so that it'll search for specifically just free ones. If I want it animated or still, if I want it laid out a certain orientation, or if I want it by a certain color. So in this instance, I really want that royal blue that the Rams have. I click on it, I press apply filters, and now I have all blue rectangles and blue options that I can pick from. And you can scroll through and kind of pick whatever one you're looking for, whatever look you desire. My encouragement, if you're just starting out, is one of the bigger mistakes I see in guys that start making graphics from scratch is they get really, really, really excited and carried away with some of the looks they do, and it gets a little bit too chaotic. Like something like this just seems really busy to me. It's moving. It's got all kinds of colors. Something like this, you don't want the background to distract from your actual image. But in our instance, we just want something that is just, it's got a little bit of texture to it. It's laid out nice. I don't know exactly where I found the one I did, but I found this one here that I really like. Again, I just clicked on it. I moved it here, and I'm going to adjust it so that it is laying on this side of that picture there. And that's a little bit too light for what I want. So I'm going to go edit image, and I'm just going to mess with the brightness a little bit, bring it down so it's a little darker. That looks good right there, I think. Yeah, that's what I want. And boom, now I have a nice space there. And I'm going to break it up a little bit so that it's not just straight blue to picture. So I actually searched up yellow gradient here in my search bar under elements, and that came up with a bunch of different images. I chose this one. I know that once you use them, they save up here, which is kind of nice too. But I picked this one. I want to just add a little gold bar here to kind of break it up a little bit between the picture and the text here. So you can see, obviously, I have the gold box over top of the image. I don't want that. That's not what I'm looking for. So if I click on it and then I right click and press send to back, it'll send it to the back. And now I can't see it, but at least my image is over the top there. I gotta make these a little bigger here. I can just send this one back, and now I have that gold box that kind of breaks it. So it's very similar to PowerPoint. If you ever used PowerPoint before, I'm just setting them forward and backwards based off where I want on the page. So now I have, again, this blue box, and really at this point, I could put whatever I wanted over here. I could put, if I want to do some sort of player of the game award. I wanted to do some sort of score update. I wanted to do some sort of news update. Um, my possibilities are really endless here and what I can include there. For this purpose, I'm just going to make a game day one. So to add, I'm going to start with the game day text across the top. I'm going to press the text box over here on the left side, press add heading, and you see, boom, it adds in a heading. I like to always use all caps when I create an image or I use text. I just think it just looks a lot better. I think lowercase kind of messes with the flow of the page a little bit. So I always use all caps. It's just a personal preference. But I'm going to pick a different font, and they have all kinds of fonts over here. The one I really liked for this one was this Monument font, and I'm going to make it bold so that it's kind of stands out a little bit. I'm going to take that, just move it up. I'm not a huge fan of how spread out these lines are here, or how far these words are from each other. So I'm just going to highlight it, go to spacing here, and just decrease the spacing so that they're just a little tighter together. Right there is what I want. And I'll make it a little bigger so it stands out more. It's the focal point of the page. Boom. And there we go. Now I don't like the black color, so to change the color of the text, again, I click on my text box. I'm going to click text color, and what you'll see is that I have a couple different options here. So it's going to have some very ones that I've already used here. One thing that's nice about Canva too is I can add my brand colors. So if you upload your logo, you can select the different colors that you want and put them there, and they'll always be there. So your team colors can always just be boom right at the top. It'll also detect colors that are already in your image, and you can select those. This is the only yellow I'm really seeing here, and I'm not a huge, I like it to be a little brighter. So I'm going to click on the add new color. And again, I can adjust this however I want. If I wanted to try and select my own yellow there, I could. But I want it to be similar to this yellow on the Rams helmet here. I think that really stands out. So I'm going to click this eyedropper tool, click that, and now I can select anywhere on this page a yellow color, and it'll match it so that it shows up over here. Now that's a little too bright for me, so I'm going to go a little bit darker, maybe about right there. That looks good. Okay, so boom, now I have my yellow color is saved there, and I'm ready to go on future ones. I'm going to add the logos in next. So I found, again, these logos online. I didn't add them to my logos page just because I'm not going to mess with them too much. But if you have your team logo, you can upload it here so that it's always consistently there. But I'm going to go to uploads, and you can see I found the Bengals logo, I found the Rams logo, and I found the Super Bowl logo. So I'm going to start by just adding in the Rams logo by just clicking on it. And here again, I have another image. Now, sometimes you can find logos online that are already without the background here. Especially if you're looking at more common teams, like obviously the Rams, there's going to be tons of stuff since they're an NFL team. But they don't always come with that. So I'm going to show you how to crop out the background as well after I put this on here. So there's the Rams logo. Let's add the Bengals logo. I don't want this black background. It looks bad. It's going to mess with how everything looks on this page. You can see if I make it smaller, I don't want that sitting there. That looks horrible. So to remove this background, again, what I do is I click on the image, I press edit image, and then Canva has this feature called background remover. It is a good tool. There's some flaws with it, and you'll see even when I do this Bengals logo here, it can be tricky to use sometimes because it's not always perfect. But I click background remover, and it's going to try and detect where the background is on this image and remove it. And you can see here, it removed, I'll zoom in so you can see it. It removed the black striping inside the letter because it was a black background and it just detected that. So I don't want that, obviously. This looks bad. It's blue. The Bengals logo is not blue. So I can use my brush tool over here and press either restore or erase. If I press plus, that means it's going to keep things or add things back in. Erase would mean it would get rid of them. So I press plus, and then I'm just going to paint. I'm just clicking and holding down and dragging all across where this black striping is on the Bengals logo, just to add it back in. And this is where, if you're using a program like Canva, it'll work, and you could You could crop out like players and whatever you wanted this way, but it would get a little tedious having to constantly go back and brushing. This tool will work much better the more like contrast you have between your image and your background. So there you can see I added the black back in. I'm just going to press apply, and now I have my Bengals logo cut out. I'm going to move it over here to make sure it's about the same size, and looks like it is. Align it with the Rams logo. And there we go. Now I have my Bengals logo. I'm going to make it so that it says versus here. So again, if I just go text, add heading, and write versus in all caps, I want it to be the same font as this game day graphic. I recommend if you're making images, you pick maybe one main font and two alternative ones. Again, I'm using this Monument and bolding it for mine. And I want it to be white now. So I'm just going to go text color, white, make it a little bit smaller. I could also use this to make it smaller too, but I find it sometimes just easier just to grab it and move it. So there we go. I'm going to move these a little closer. Actually, might make those a little bigger just so that they stand out a little bit more. All right, so now I have my logos. I have announced that it's game day. I need to fill in something down here. Now, this is where I think a lot of people can get a little carried away. If you wanted to just leave this place blank, I'm sure you could, and I'm sure you could find something there. But I wanted something, kind of in this corner here, just to add some other yellow to it. I got yellow up here, yellow in the middle, and some yellow over here. So I just want a little bit of yellow down here. So I went back to elements, and I just wanted a little circle similar to the Rams logo. So I typed in yellow circle, as you can see there, and it pulled up all kinds of different ones that I can use. I picked this one. Again, I just click on it. It uploads it to the picture here. I'm going to make it a little smaller. I'm going to turn it so that I get kind of that texture. Oops. I get that texture that I want in the corner there. I'm going to make it a little bigger. There we go. Turn it a little bit more. And that's a little dark for me. So I'm going to go, again, edit image. I can turn the brightness up so that it's similar to that color there. And some of this is just kind of a feel thing. Sometimes you're going to need to add brightness. Sometimes you're going to need to take it down. Sometimes you're going to need to add saturation. But I'm just trying to change the color using an eye test. Now, the nice thing is that there are some instances in which some of these elements you can change the color to. So I wanted to add a little bit of paint over on this side just to break up this edge. So I searched just white paint, and this image is the one that I found. So I clicked on that. And this is obviously it's a black paint stroke. But if you look up here in the top left corner, there's a color bar. I can actually change the color of this to whatever I want. So if I wanted it to be white, I could click white. If I wanted it to be gray, I could click gray. But I want to use the same yellow that I used for my image here and image here. And you can see those are pretty close. And I'm going to just add this over on the side here so that I have just another little extra texture or element on the side. Again, I don't want to get too carried away with it because then it starts to look overcrowded and it's taken away from the main point of the image, which is to promote that it's a game day for your team. But there you can see I just have a little bit of yellow there. And then the last thing I want to do, since it is a Super Bowl, I wanted to add the Super Bowl logo. So I just found that online. It already has the image cropped out. I just click on it. I'm going to drag it, make it a little smaller so that it sits in that corner there. And now, I have this nice image. I want to add I want to let everyone know what the date and time is. So I'm going to press text, add heading, and I'm just going to say February 13th, Central Time. It's at 5:30. I just put an I there to break that up. I want this. I'm going to make it a different color than the rest of the text, so it's going to be white. I'm going to move it underneath of my game day right there. I can also use my keyboard arrows to nudge it up or down if I want. You can see I'm kind of nudging the background there now, but I'm just going to move that up just a little bit. And then I'm not really a fan of that font, so I'm going to go a different one. The one I used is this Code Pro. I bolded it. I don't like that the I changed to that type of I, so I just put in a lowercase l and I get the same effect. So at this point, I have my image done and ready to go. I can, if I wanted to try and add some sort of texture or something over it, I could, but I think this looks pretty clean. I think it's pretty solid. And so I'm going to save it now. To save it, I can go to download, and I can save all kinds of different file types. There's JPEG, PDFs, SVG, MP4s. I can make GIFs from this, whatever I want to do. I'm just going to keep it as PNG, and I'm going to increase the size. It gives you a warning here, but you don't need it. I don't know. I don't really notice any sort of difference in download time, and I don't mind waiting a couple seconds to get a bigger image. So at that point, I just download it, and it'll save it right to my computer, and then I can upload it to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, our team page, whatever you want to do. But you can see here, I mean, without me explaining this would have taken me less than 10 minutes to do. It's pretty quick and easy. And I can have this template set up from now until eternity. I can change whatever's on here. I can change this picture here if that's as far as you want to go. If you want to make new templates every time, new looks, I'll talk about that in another video, kind of keeping a consistent look across all your graphics. But that's a very easy way to just make something, put it online. It looks really, really clean, and will promote your program in a positive way. So that's all I got for this video. I hope it's helpful. Make sure you subscribe so when you get updated for more videos. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, put them in the comments. Send me a message on Twitter, and I'll be happy to answer them. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.